What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are installing new wheels on the Eclipse. Excuse the mess, we're still cleaning up the garage and we're preparing to wrap the hood in one of our next videos. But we got VSKFs. So these are work wheels, and the specs I have are 18 by 12.5 in the back, and I think -13 in the rear and -11 offset in the front. And then the front spec is 18 by 12. So we got 18 by 12.5 rear, 18 by 12 up front. So it is an all-wheel drive car, but the only thing that really matters on all-wheel drive, because they do have tolerances in the differential to accommodate turning and a little bit different size wheel and all that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want it to be pretty close to accurate as a squared setup as you can. The width doesn't really matter, but the height does, for an all-wheel drive car at least. So the tire specs I have on here, I'll put them up on the screen, but we have pretty much, I think, 0.3 of an inch difference in height. It's really not anything big, and this car isn't going on the highway. But this is a really solid setup of wheels. I'm really happy I got them. I actually got them for a really good deal too. I got them for 2,500 bucks. And I have 2 front tires that came with it, and then I just put 2 rears on. So that's really cool. Let's honestly just put them on. I have 1-inch spacers in the front and 2.5 in the back. That's why these LXZs don't work. I get a lot of comments on how big the LXZs are, and I'll put up those dimensions now. So this is what they look like side by side. The VSKF is a little bigger, which is good, honestly, because I have a 1-inch spacer in the front. And you can tell by the lip alone that the offset is way deeper. I'm just hoping that it's like ideal specs and I don't need a spacer. These are my dream wheels, so I don't really care. I'm gonna make them fit no matter what, if that's camber or, yeah, that's pretty much it, just camber. But so what we're gonna do first is try them with the spacer and then take off the spacer, which is probably what's gonna have to happen. Way too wide, which is good, so let's take off that spacer. These sit literally perfect, like exactly how I wanted it to sit. And my coilover springs are not that stiff. They're literally max speeding run coilovers, so they're not like anything like BC Racing with high spring rate. So they are lifted, and I'm curious to see this on the ground. So let's do it. That's how it looks. Oh my goodness. Literally perfect. That is what I was going for. That is so sick. And they do clear my back of my suspension, so the barrel of the wheel back here doesn't hit anything. It doesn't rub. So literally perfect on the fronts right now, and I'm not running that spacer. I wanted to do the fronts first, just in case I needed that 1-inch spacer. I didn't really want to, but I've been running those front spacers, the 1-inch, for probably 3 years now, and I've had no issues. So if I had to, I would just put a little Loctite and make them really just on there with torque, but I hope I don't have to. Let's try on one of the backs. So these do sit a little further in than I would like, and I think a 1-inch spacer would push it out literally perfect right behind this fender line. And these are really wide fenders. I think they're 95 mil, so that's like pretty extreme. The version 3 is definitely wider than the version 1 and 2. So these wheels would be literally perfect on the version 1 and 2, but the version 3, this is like extremely wide. So I think that 1 inch, I'm definitely fine running it. I don't really care. I don't know the brand, but I've had these ones for a couple years now, and I've had literally no problems with them. So I'm fine running those ones, but these ones, no idea. So I'm not gonna run these ones. And that's why I really wanted these wheels, just so I can get away from the really big spacers. So let's put them on and see how they look. Okay, so the front and the rear are on. The rear actually has a 1 inch spacer, and I'm totally fine with that. It's perfect fitment right now. So this doesn't look good. Before we had the 19 inch LXZs and those filled in. Honestly, it's because we mounted the kit around those, but this is where the kit needs to be. We took off the kit and saw if we can move it down, and then we realized we couldn't because the gas cap's on the other side. And this is just where it looks the best at. Instead of having these side skirts all the way down here, I kind of thought about it more, and then I pushed it all the way up, and we should have just done this from the start. But all I'm gonna have to do is trim it at this door right here, and it'll look so much better. So once it's trimmed there, I'll make it nice and flush, and then we'll just mount it right here. And you guys are thinking, well, that's not gonna solve anything. And I mean, it kinda will, but it's not gonna solve this fitment. So what we're gonna have to do is get bags. Originally, I just wanted really stiff coilovers and have some really good fitment, but I think bags are gonna be even better, and the pictures are going to be insane. So this thing is literally going to be on the ground with bags. And then this fitment, since we're tucking front and back, we're literally tucking like just a little. It's like perfect bag fitment. I think that's what these wheels were made for, literally a bag car. So I think it's going to be insane. So I don't have $2,500 for bags, but we're gonna sell some wheels, figure it out, and then just buy the bags. Also, thank you guys so much for all the support on the painting video. It didn't turn out amazing. I know I could have done better, and it's not a professional paint job. I definitely learned a lot, and the next car that we do is literally going to be insane. I know that. But thank you guys so much for the support on all of these videos. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.